Hey there and welcome. Today, we're diving into something pretty cool happening in the world of agriculture. We're talking about a powerful plant-based chemical that could totally change the game for making crop protection a whole lot safer and more sustainable. Let's get into it. Think about that for a second. For years, we've known that some of the chemicals that make pesticides work so well have a downside, right? A hidden cost to our health and the environment. And that's really the big challenge for modern farming. How do we protect our crops without creating other problems?
So to really get why this new solution is such a big deal, we first have to look at the old problem. For decades, farming has leaned on petroleum-based solvents to get pesticides where they need to go. But, these traditional chemicals, they come with some serious risks.
On one hand, you've got the traditional solvents. Sure, they're effective, but they can be hazardous, tough on the environment, and just plain risky to handle. Then, on the other hand, you have what we're all aiming for, something that's renewable, safe for us, and has a tiny environmental footprint. And the real innovation here is bridging that gap.
And that's where the hero of our story comes in. We're talking about a whole new category of chemicals designed to do just that. So, let's take a closer look at this greener solution.
The answer is something called a biosolvent, specifically one made from methyl esters. Now, I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually really simple. Instead of being made from petroleum, these are made from natural, renewable stuff like vegetable oil. We're literally using plant-based building blocks to make a high-performance chemical. How cool is that?
Okay, so what does this actually mean for farmers, out in the real world? Well, the practical advantages are what make this tech so exciting.
The benefits here are just fantastic. First off, this biosolvent is non-toxic and biodegradable. That's a huge win for the environment. It also has a reduced fire risk, which makes it way safer to store and handle. It's even safe enough to be designated for food contact, and it's a non-VOC, which means it doesn't pump harmful compounds into the air we breathe.
And this isn't just some lab theory. This biosolvent is a real direct replacement for a lot of those common, harsh chemicals like kerosene and white spirits. This shows you it has the potential to really shake up the industry in a big way.
So we've established that it's safer and greener. But does it work? That's the big question, right? Let's look at what it actually does in agriculture, which is boosting how well crop protection products perform.
In farm sprays, this biosolvent plays the role of an adjuvant. The easiest way to think about it is like a delivery vehicle. Its main job is to carry the important stuff, the herbicide or pesticide, and then help that stuff work even better once it gets to the plant.
Here's how it all goes down. First, the biosolvent carries the active ingredient in the spray. When that droplet lands on a leaf, the biosolvent helps it spread out, covering more surface area. Then it acts like a sticker, making the formula cling to the plant. And finally, it can actually help the pesticide get through the waxy outer layer of the leaf, which means it works better and you might even be able to use a lower dose.
And here's a huge, tangible benefit: rain fastness. You know how frustrating it is when rain just washes expensive chemicals right off the leaves? It's like washing money down the drain. Well, with this biosolvent acting as a sticker, those active ingredients stay put. That means less waste, better results, and a much better return on your investment.
So, when you put all this together, the safety, the performance, the sustainability, it really leads to a pretty important question.
We've seen that these vegetable oil-derived biosolvents really make a strong case for themselves. They're safer for people and the planet. They come from renewable sources, and, this is the critical part, they actually make the products farmers depend on work better. It's a win-win-win situation. So we'll leave you with this final thought. As everyone is looking for more sustainable and safer ways to farm, could innovations like this be the key? Is shifting to greener chemistry not just an environmental choice anymore, but actually the next step in smart, effective agriculture? Thanks for joining us.